Can you see and hear me well?
Yes, Mike, we can hear you. And welcome to the show over here. And we are really happy and great to see you uh, with us for speaking and telling us more about your uh, platform, Market Making Pro. But I'll just give a small background of you and Market Making Pro that Mr. Michael with his team, they had started this consultancy agency in 2016, and I have been like personally knowing him from 2017 when we met, and he's also a part of Threefold Foundations and many more projects. They are coming up. They do support projects for market making and also these days they have their own Launchpad for the people who are really interested in doing their ideas. So over to you, Mike, to let people know more about you rather than from me.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, thank you so much for the intro. First of all, I wouldn't love to pay too much attention at what we're doing and what is the current focus. And just like the third has, as Levitt mentioned, we started as the consulting agency, and then since that, we've been developing the different services. And market making is one of the things which has developed and improved since 2017, and we've seen a lot of tokenomics, a lot of different models, and quite cool concepts. And over time, which is the cool thing, we were able to see how things are getting better and better. Well, however, as you can see, due to the latest, let's say, events and things happening in the market, we still can say that it's quite early on one hand side for crypto, and we have to be conscious about what we're doing. We need to study all the tools and all the different elements and how they work and how they interact with each other. But I would like to divide the perspective into two different ones and how we have to approach it as individuals on the first hand side, and as well as what can we do as the companies to make the space better. At the same time, I have to earn money in the proper way and to give an opportunity for the other people to earn because that's why we're here. So yeah, it's been quite a journey. We like it a lot, and since that time, a lot of people are confused right now. Say, "Hey guys, you doing market making?" And that's it, pretty much from the name of our company. But right now, we are more like the accelerator and incubator. We are investing in the projects ourselves. It's discovering different markets. We do have a launchpad and farming platform. We do have our own token as well. So right now we kind of decided to diversify the product line we had, and that gives us a very good opportunity. And the network we gathered over the time is quite interesting. So we can collaborate on the different things and cases. Let's say usually we house the projects in the very early stages, and sometimes the project just comes to us and asks for our advice on how to approach the building the right tokenomics in a proper way, what to do and what not to, as well as being the market maker puts the responsibility on us on understanding how to approach the trading process as well. Um, yeah, so that's probably the shortest I could tell about what we're doing as the market making pro company. Um, I'm always open to your question, guys, and I hope Lalit you here. So I would really love to hear your opinion as well, and how do you see the market, and maybe not how quick we're going to recover, but just to discuss a little bit more on what is the best thing to do now as the company and as an individual, and what are those, let's call them the safe islands to go to during these times, because right now we have a lot of people, a lot of newcomers through 2020 to end of 2021 and 2021 itself as well. So most of the questions I receive usually from the people not crypto related is like, what is the best thing to start with? Well, what are your thoughts?
Definitely, this market first, I would like to know from you because you are the one who is running a Launchpad and inviting people, projects for IDO. So, what are your suggestions for those projects, those who are really keen to launch the IDO? What you would
So
suggest
okay.
them that how they should appear in the market, and what are the things they should cater before jumping into the market to raise the funds?
Okay, I would say right now it's going to be quite harder to raise the funds for sure, due to the various number of factors, and of course the less situation hampered 2 3 hours capital is one of the proofs that sometimes the money invested and the way the money has been invested um, probably not the they were not invested with the best risk management approach, in my opinion. However, what I see for the Launchpad as for now, since it's summer, most of the liquidity is up from the market. And as for now, I see few listings going on. Some of the Launchpads are still doing the IDOs and IOs. But right now, the community and most of them who do trust the project and who do follow and who still participate, I would strongly recommend personally to diversify the risks as much as possible and to understand how much of the resource you have in order to understand that sometimes you might have to wait maybe like 1 year or so, but also you have to consider the tokenomics and how much of the allocation you're going to get in TGE, and just consider risk reward ratio. That's for more likely for the regular user who is approaching and doing the research. On the other hand side, as of the projects, I'd say I really like what is going on in the market because sometimes we have to face the situation when we have to reevaluate each project and to understand what is the actual value which is bringing. Is it scalable enough? Is it flexible? How does the ecosystem work? And we just have to rethink the things which we thought were built well. So still quite fragile, and due to the various factors, a lot most of the markets are affected, and as well as this like the total situation in the world currently, it's not looking bright and shiny. However, I do think that we are responsible for going through and making this path this way easier and better for us and for the ones who are around us. So if we take the responsibility, things are going to get easier.
Okay. And like you mentioned that this is the summer going on, and what do you feel that by when this crypto winter would be coming up?
Oh, yeah, I don't quite like the term like crypto winter or whatsoever, but as I do trading as a hobby. It's my part time, and I love it. I enjoy understanding the markets and seeing how the liquidity is moving or how the certain assets are reacting to the certain events. And yeah, it's quite amusing for me. I do not take it as the full time job because it's probably not my thing, but as a hobby, I enjoy it a lot. So, as always, for summer, we see that liquidity goes away and a lot of people are going and taking off for vacation. I do expect to see more movements, probably um, by the end of August or September. But see, the thing is, when most of the people are expecting something to happen, that might not happen. So we have to look at the right place. We have to study the market. We have to study ourselves because me as the trader and just moving and discovering what trading is, it's brought up a lot of personal things. So one of the things which I would also recommend to everyone personally is just invest the time in studying and learning new things as much as possible, because that's something which would never lose the value of, and that's probably the best investment ever which you can do. Say if you want to learn the Python, if you want to learn Solidity or something, right now it's a very good time. I consider summer as the time for building, which is cool. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it because you can reevaluate the thing and see what have you done in the past 9 months, and just probably try to um, change the approach a little bit, or as well as look at the different things under the different level to understand if you've done the things correctly or if you have to try something else out. Yeah.
Great.
Also on our end, we see a lot of things happening, and we're used to be right there when all the events happening, and we do organize the events ourselves. One of the next ones we are hosting in Dubai in October. So yeah, guys, welcome to help to Wall Summit as well. We're waiting for you in Dubai. Then Portugal, we're gonna go to Lisbon in November, but it's gonna be end of November more likely. So yeah, and for us, it's very valuable speaking to people and understanding what is going on in the market and which direction people are looking, what thoughts they're sharing, and which products they are working at the certain moment. Yeah, so I'd say this year is going to be interesting for sure.
Definitely, what we are seeing at the early beginning of the year, and right now this bear market, bull market. I know it's very hard, but everyone is expecting that it will be improving by the end of the year. What do you say about it? Because I'm asking you this
Um,
because for the community, the whole community would love to get this details from a pro trader crypto person, right? So everyone would like to have
oh
suggestions.
yeah, yeah, that's yeah. Sorry, I forgot to mention I'm the day trader. Right now, I closed my investment portfolio in December. It was late December when I see that things are not quite working out well for it. I closed my midterm, most of my midterm deals by end of December. The last deals I closed middle of April. The ones I long. More likely I do day trading. So I just it's fun when you can catch some movements from the early morning. You can set up the orders, and then you can go and just enjoy the routine, enjoy the work. Then by the end of the day or by lunchtime, you check what is going on and if you are right or not. So for me, as more likely that the game for my brain if I did all the analytics properly in order to understand if my position is going to be closed with profit or by the stop loss. So the only thing, as I mentioned, it's very tough sometimes to wait, right, for the things to recover. It's very hard to expect something at a certain time, but we also have to consider many factors. And if there is going to be somebody who is going to tell you, say, hey, this November we're going to hit a certain number of a different asset. So there are two options. Either this guy doesn't know what he's talking about, or he's got inside information. But even though he's got inside information, it doesn't make it 100% true, right? So you just have to prepare a few scenarios to be ready for it. And as for me, I apply this approach in my life as well after learning about trading a lot, and it gives me a lot of release because if you understand the options you have, and whenever the situation is happening, you just choose the one which is more efficient for you, and you don't spend too much emotional resource most of the time. So hopefully we'll recover and things get back on track by the end of the year. Um, Might be longer because we never know what's going to happen next. But something, as I mentioned before, which we have to take care of is our education, our skills, what we know and how we understand the markets, and learn about risk management as much as possible. I know because right now there are many friends of mine who suffered. Yeah, I guess end of May was quite harsh for them, and yeah, the Luna, the UST things went through crazy, crazy. I know people who lost a lot of money on that. So it's about the risk management as well.
Great. So, Mike, I received one question from the community that they wanted to know
Yes,
what
please.
is market making pro. So, I think it would be great if you can tell the community more about your platform, Market Making Pro,
Okay.
that what you all do, and what is the team, and how your team is going to help the future projects, or how your team has supported the previous projects.
Mhm. Okay, easy, easy. So one of the products of the Market Making Pro is the SaaS platform with the algorithmic bots for trading on the decentralized exchanges and on the centralized exchanges. So one of the major things of the projects who are just coming onto the market, most of them, they do not have a big or strong community of traders from the very beginning. And so the problem is that to keep the trading off in the right way, they need the support from the teams like us. They need liquidity providers, and they need the initial trading activity. So um, basically, we help people to experience, to have a good and proper trading experience. And for example, the project went through the Launchpad. He had their IDO, the TGE has happened, people got their tokens. But if there would be no market maker, more likely they wouldn't be able to sell or buy the tokens at the proper rate. They would have a very high volatility. They might have no orders, and that's something which we have to prevent in order to provide a good experience for the traders. Um, yeah. So also it's pretty important because just the community who's coming on the ideals as the one hand side, but then afterwards, as we know, it's a very good and important thing to get on to the bigger exchanges with the best reputation, right? So in order to have that, you need already to build up the community of traders. Most of the times, traders wouldn't come to trade an asset if there is one deal happening in 4 hours or so. And so that is something which we're taking care of as well. So maintaining the healthy price chart, providing the liquidity, and making sure that the order books are acceptable, that's something what we focus on the most. As Yeah, that's the thing which we help all of our clients and partners for the market making. As of the Launchpad, we had, I'd say, just 2 or 3 crypto projects in because we are quite new as a Launchpad, right? We started end of the last year, which was already quite late. But considering the opportunities which we had for the Launchpad, we still thought it's going to be a good idea for that. So right now we figured out the way how to make the things properly and how to provide the ODC deals with the shareholders of the certain companies who hasn't gone to an IPO yet. So it's one of the things which we worked on for quite a long time, and we're happy to see that that is working. For the certain help to the projects, we do advisory as well. Some of the times, there is the certain situation or the question which can be resolved with our help because we know a lot of people who work as the market makers. Most of the exchanges we do have the connection with, as well as just approaching the certain situation and giving the different opinions on how the project can proceed and what he might expect. That's something, yeah. So that's something valuable for us as well. I think I didn't mention. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things I've been involved in myself personally, and there are a lot of things I'm interested in, and I see there are many gaps in. I don't want to say the industry, but in the approach of the information. And I think that one of the things which is um, underrated a lot is that people do not approach the data analysis properly. They do not use the data they could. And that's one of the reasons we are also working on one of the internal products right now. It's basically the basic chatbot. So we need to understand what is the traction and how the community reacts to the certain things which are coming from us, and how things are being done and handled, right? I rarely see the project who does this kind of analytics, but what we have seen that most of the projects they do not have an understanding of what kind of tools they have to use in order, to raise the traction of the community and how to raise the exposure and the awareness, because the airdrops back in 2017, right, they just do not work. The different campaigns which are launched
Mike, uh, I think we lost your voice.
program. I am back.
Yes, Mike, we can see you, but we lost your voice in between.
Yeah, I know, because I started to see that the internet has dropped. Yeah, my apologies. Lately, doesn't work properly.
You can
Yeah,
understand.
and so
For people are working from home and dropping down. The signals
yeah,
is in regular.
man, it's Friday. People should go and enjoy, right? that's
So that's
that's
why
also something which.
this is what people wanted to know more about. This crypto industry, that uh, how they can earn more. So they wanted some suggestions that how they can earn more, and then they can go out for a bigger holiday. So
I see, I see,
they are
I see.
really keen to know about your
No, but that's a good
platform,
question.
and definitely about the upcoming ideas that are on your platform, and maybe they could invest and gain more funds for their
Yeah, we
holidays.
would love to.
what,
Okay,
what are your
okay,
thoughts
yeah,
and
that's good. That's good.
comments on it?
Okay, I might sound quite pessimistic here, but there is no magic pill. I mean, if we get lucky, it's very good. But luck is just a matter of the hard work and constant basis, right? So I would recommend not to go too harsh on yourself as well. But let me just give an example by coming back into the mentality as what I come up to as the trader. So the thing is, if you start chasing the profits a lot, and that's the only thing which you think about 24/7, there is the moment when the burnout comes. And because like everybody has to know the limits, and everybody has to know themselves well, because sometimes people forget that that's something they see like the digital world, and for example they just see it's all. No, don't get me wrong, it's always good to get paid for the hard work you've done, but it has to be done in the proper way, in a healthy way, right? And I found out that not finding the balance when you spend like 2 3 days working hard 24/7, and then the same 3 4 days just resting, it's not something cool which is going to bring the result. I'd say it's the constant thing which are done on the daily basis. And right now, it's just the situation. If you want to get the result as soon as possible, you just have to work every day. But see, right now we come to the question of how people should address what they're doing. How should they like it, right? If you don't like it, there is a very little chance that you're going to enjoy the process, of discovering, of learning, of understanding how you can earn from a certain tool in the crypto market. So um, I would say, as a trader, to maintain a healthy trading history, you have to know when you have to rest. It doesn't mean you have to sleep for 8 hours straight, but which is very important as well. Not 8 hours. Everyone is different, and each individual has the different sleep schedule. But that's something which has to be taken care of as well. So my point is, clear, the more clear you keep your mind, the more efficient you are. So that's the question of the efficiency and not of how hard you've been working, right? Because sometimes you just might talk to the right people and understand which is going to be, I don't know, the next exit finance or the next gem coming into the market or the next tool or the next segment of the market that is going to move. So um, I found out for myself, which works, that sometimes I still have to remember that there is the real life out there, that you need to have this, you need to, um, for me, that I have to stay in the sports, that I have to do something, I have to go to the gym, I have to ride the sport bikes, just to keep my mental condition healthy. Whenever you find balance, I mean, don't get me wrong, and also work around 9 to 10 hours per day, but still I do my best to find the time when I can rest or when I can just clear up my mind. So, understanding what is the key to that routine is crucial. Speaking about our launchpad, we do not plan any ideas this summer for sure. One of the next ones coming, um, it's going to happen probably mid of September. What we're doing right now, we are closing the deal with Ledger. Uh, Not yet, it's still in the process, but we should get the confirmation within 1 2 weeks. Yeah, and then we'll announce it, I think, a little bit later. Also, we do launch the NFT collection together with Gate on their marketplace. And also, we came out with a few things. So, each NFT owner would have some extra benefits and bonuses when using our launchpad. So, come and check.
Great, great, great. No, it's really nice. So, one more question is there from Manish. Simon, can you highlight? Yeah. So he wants to ask that what change do you support and what are the basic requirements to launch the project? I think he wanted to know
About
that
launchpad.
what protocols of this industry that you are supporting at your platform.
Yeah, for the launchpad, handling the process of the IDOs, and we understand right now there are around 10 different chains, right? So we went with the Binance Smart Chain as the primary one. We do support ETH as well, but the logic of the Launchpad allows us to launch the IDO for any kind of chain, pretty much. So we're not tied up to one chain, but we can launch the projects on the different chains. So basically, due to the logic on how we track the users and how much this there was staked in the launch pools, we can understand how much of the allocation each person receives. So and then there is the like personal cabinet activated for each user. We also collect the email and we link up with the wallet which participated in the IDO. So we can reach out to the person and just proceed it from there.
Okay. And also,
That's
he
actually what
wants
it
to know
is.
that to launch the project, what are the requirements that your platform is seeking? That based
Okay,
on
as for
what
now,
they can apply for, if Manish is having a project and he wants to apply as an IDO on your platform, so what are the things that he should keep in his mind before asking you to get the application approved?
yeah, I would say right now we're focusing on the projects with the already working product with the community, and right now we are, let's say it's the small Series A. It's like the sandbox of the Series A. So whenever there is a project that there is understanding, and it's like, hey, it's the right time to launch the token, for example, and just to support and kind of boost the ecosystem, and that's when we are there. But yeah, as mentioned, we chose the strategy rather not to do too many projects, but just launch 1 2 in a month, but just selected very carefully.
Great, great, great. So, another question has come up from Rohit. In fact, I would say that this is the favorite question of every project owner. So, they wanted to know that how many investors are there in your platform?
Mhm. That's a good question, and we do not hide it. So right now, as of the community, we have around 50,000 people among all the social networks. There are some people who do not follow us. The strongest community from our Launchpad is coming from Japan. Right now, we have around 3,500 people from there, and also around 5 to 6,000 people who constantly participate. So I would say if we're speaking about the active ones who participate in each IDO, it's around 8,000 people.
That's That's perfect. In fact, the answer to next question is also there because one person has asked that what is the user base of your platform? So I think you had already answered along with your investors that every user is an investor for your platform.
Yeah, we are doing our best there. Not every, and because we also see that the requirements are so different, right? And sometimes people are looking for the different options. They want to diversify, and we just need to provide a convenient tool, which is easier to understand how it is working, as well as we have to, like, because we have the responsibility of the projects who we are launching, right? So we have to go through the screening process carefully.
Yeah. So, just to know your thoughts on it, that what do you feel about this uh, crypto industry? That what I feel that it's just a few percentage of people, those who know about crypto industry, and they are the investors into this crypto industry. And what do you feel about it?
Um, Let me also put it from this perspective. I still think that we're not early. There are a lot of people who know about crypto. There are a lot of people who heard about Bitcoin. There are a lot of people who kind of know what is it. There are a lot of people who heard about all the ups and downs. Right now, it's just a matter of the consciousness, right? It's the matter on how people are reacting or using, or how they can understand how crypto can make their lives better, easier, more convenient, for example. Sometimes, and because most of the time, when I hear something about crypto from the regular person, is more likely, hey, it's like a scam, Ponzi, or whatsoever, right? And it's about the value, it's about convenience. The latest situation in Europe as well just demonstrated and showed up that even sometimes you cannot rely on the banks. So you just have to diversify in order to self-maintain as the person, as the human being, and as the one who wants to build up that financial freedom, right? And as for me, it's really hard to disagree with that. Yes, me personally, I do not trust banks a lot. I feel way safer when I do have something which belongs to me, which I have full access to, and which can be moved, deposited, or withdrawn, doesn't matter, anytime I need it without any commission, more like, right? And that's something which we, like all the crypto community, has the responsibility of showing to the others and saying, hey, you can still say no, you can still disagree, you can still not believe it. It's already here, it's working, and that's what we're going to see in the next 5 to 10 years. As the technology, I see a lot of beautiful ways in how it can be implemented. The only thing, as kind of makes me sad right now, is that we have to go through a lot of mistakes in order to improve and become something bigger and more valuable, more um, let's say more improved, and if I can tell it, like more perfect. I've been watching that the metaverse trend right now, and everyone is building the metaverse. Everyone is building the next Zoom meeting rooms, which It doesn't make much of a sense for me, since I also have been working in the tech startups, and we've done a few things for the students in terms of the strategic consultancy. The thing is, I haven't seen the metaverse which provides the opportunity for the, let's say, the pupils or for the students to learn engineering, to see how a car is built or to see how a motorbike is built. Right now, and me as the boy, man, we all have the same toys nowadays. We like cars, we like motorbikes, right? But when you do not have the access to the actual machine, it's really hard to learn how is it built, which part affects which kind of characteristics. And what I was hoping to see for the past like 8 months when I spoke to the Metaverse projects is this kind of thing, that you can be like that you will be able to learn and to customize, for example, the car, build it up, see what would happen if you change a few engine details or exhaust system, and how it's going to affect the whole car ecosystem, for example. And I think it's really achievable, and especially with the latest LiDAR technologies, it's not that hard to, to make the 3D model of pretty much anything these days. Right now, it's just a matter of bringing that opportunity. The same, the rocket science. There are so many the bright minds. They come from the high schools. We, I think, do not we we do not like respect, but we do not pay the attention to the ones who are eager to learn. And if we do not give the tool and if we do not create it, we just slowing the things down so much. So I truly believe that there are beautiful things which can be done based on the blockchain right now, as the question of time and the conscious of what are we going to need as the community. So it's just the idea. I might be wrong, I might be right, I don't know, but that's how I feel and that's how I see it. And also, like being a big fan of the science fiction from the childhood, that's something which I'm missing right now.
Right. So, what do you think about someone asked that what is your take on NFTs, metaverse, and Web3?
I think, okay, let's start with Web3. As the technology as well, it's quite young. Um, I still think that probably the next hype or the thing that's going to happen exactly with the Web3. Um, the only matter for me is that the product for some of the Web3 projects I've been helping, and the Freehold is one of them, right? So the technology-wise, everything is beautiful. It's amazing how the product works. See, right now the problem is on how to grow it properly, how to bring that idea that say, hey, that there is something we can do if we unite. But the problem is the product is quite complicated, and for the regular person who is not much into like Web 2 or the Web 3, it's still quite hard for understanding. So, and that's why I'm talking about the level of conscious. As long as people would start learning more and understanding how different ecosystems can affect their lives in a better way, we're going to see more traction with the Web3, we're going to see more understanding, and we're going to see people moving and helping that part of the industry to grow. I'm not like mentioning the proper infrastructure and the proper product line and the security of which has to be provided by the team, right? NFT is an interesting technology. Yeah, I'll be jumping probably a little bit. I think it's also a little bit underrated right now because that thing was the apes and with the NFTs for 3 million is crazy, right? Sometimes you can just see, and there is the nonsense picture with the few pixels on there, which cost $3 million. You can see like, yo,
Ne-
how did I miss that?
Mike,
Yeah, I do think that most of the features of the NFT they haven't been used as yet because NFT is the let's say um, it is the tool which proves the ownership. But there are also maybe a lot of cool things which you can wrap it in. Many people they already spoke about the car ownership, the apartment ownership, whatsoever, or the physical objects. But as well as let's go back to the Launchpad topic. Right now we have a lot of ODC deals on the allocations which were got saved by the different projects from the IDO, right? But the vesting schedules, for some of them, it's just enormous. You have to wait maybe 2, 3 to 5 years. Sometimes the person he doesn't want to hold anymore, and he needs the money. And this asset is not liquid, and that is the major problem. And what I see, what can be done as well, it's some kind of a marketplace where people can share the allocation with all the vesting terms right inside an NFT. Um, and you can see that it's quite different to pretty much the same technology. And the cool thing and cool story that it's already realized by the few projects by our launchpad as well. So we like to experiment, and first of all, we have to make sure that we do the things properly. So
Mhm.
we have to consult with the legal team in the first place to understand what the concept is, right? Um, but see, the things are working if they are done properly. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, NFT. What else? Um,
Like you
here's
mentioned,
one.
Mike, I remember we were talking about Dubai, that you will be soon in Dubai again for some event. And
Yeah,
last
yeah,
time
yeah.
when we met together at the event, uh, I saw that the event was huge, but totally with the newcomers that wanted to pitch in for this metaverse. However, the everyone, what I felt, I don't know about your judgment. That I would like to hear. Right, that the people coming up were with the ideas, but in real case, no one has the real product. So, what are your views on it? Like you will be
Hey,
again to Dubai for these events, and I believe that again the same thing you would be able to visualize. So,
mhm.
what is the
Is
purpose
it
of
about
your
the?
and all this industry?
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So is it about the Wall Summit or about the Sigma event, which I think we met on in Sigma?
The Sigma.
Yeah, honestly, I've been there just one day when I met you. I was too crazy there. Let me because the pitch competition I missed. I do know that Aiken has presented their own project. I haven't started. I unfortunately have no idea what is going on there. I can give a short description and how the pitch competition went on the WoW Summit. Ooh, it was last year. We had, I think, around 11 or 12 projects. I was quite happy to see that there was the project coming from the EdTech. Basically, they were providing the educational courses for the pupils, as I mentioned, and the whole story about it. Because also I have to review again because it was quite a long time ago. But the major idea, which I remember, is that um, they were providing the educational courses not just like in the certain discipline like mathematics or physics, but they also were teaching the skills. A lot of schools and a lot of universities they're not paying the attention on the real fit of the person into the market. And I face the same problem as most of the people out here. Whenever you are graduating, there is no understanding on where to go. And that cliff in between what market needs and what you are is quite big. So many students are confused and they have to catch up on the things again and they have to learn again. They have to understand again, and it's pain in the ass for both sides. So I'm quite interested in those projects who are kind of eliminating that gap in between. And yeah, the pitch competition was interesting. I think I've seen two metaverse. There was a DAO as well. Bum, 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 bum. What else? And I think just three or four projects out of 12, which I was quite interested in, and I spoke to the founders. So the major reason why we do provide this kind of event, of course, is the first of all is an opportunity to talk for the guys, right? So if they're building something cool and something new, um, might be something innovative as well. So they have to be heard. They have to share their thoughts, how they see the things. But also the cool thing again is that 90% of the project they already had a working product, they already had a community, and they were kind of just scaling. So basically, they were looking for the partners and for the investors, which is cool. As for me, as long as we can provide a kind of space where people can meet each other, discuss, and find the right collaboration. That's already the few reasons why we're doing the things, why we are hosting the events. So yeah, but that one was, yeah, quite cool. I liked it. But it was intense in the morning until 3 because it was outside, and we did it near the Burj Khalifa. And oh my god, it was so hot. But after 3 p.m., everything was quite cool. So quite cool event.
Great, great, great. So I think I would just say last question, that what do you think about this future of crypto or future of blockchain? I know
The,
that.
the future is it the event or
Pardon?
is it the conference or the future of the things
No, no,
overall?
no, no. It's just
Oh,
journal that what do you think that the future of crypto or the future of blockchain is there? Because uh, I don't know how many people you have met, and they are always under assumption that uh, blockchain is crypto, crypto is blockchain. However, there is a huge difference between crypto and blockchain. So what are your views about the future?
as a technology, I mentioned it's beautiful and it can be implemented in many cases. A lot of, for example, if we even speak about the logistics, we can make the logistic part more efficient because in some ecosystems we can, for example, replace the real people doing some physical things like putting the boxes or sorting them out or scanning the QR codes into the smart contract, right? So you can scale the things down where you need. You can make things more efficient. As I mentioned, it's not the future. It's already here. Right now, it's just a matter of how to implement it in the right and the proper way. So um, yeah, I heard many. I don't want to say like the rumors, but yeah, many people were having different opinions on the blockchain just because they had a knowledge on the crypto, right? But it's for me, it's quite it's not reasonable to judge the whole industry by knowing about Dogecoin or about Shiba. So yeah, just to sum it up, I think and the way I feel, I like the industry a lot. So I do enjoy learning the new things. I do enjoy understanding and taking a look at the different ecosystems from the within in order to understand how to build the things in a better way on the blockchain and or to understand how to approach the things properly. So I don't want to say it's hey, it's the future, but it's something which is definitely going to help us to improve to have a better life.
Great, great. Anyways, I don't think is there any comment further. Yeah, one person has asked, "Do you have a large
Yeah,
customer base?" It's from KMAC Travel.
yeah, that's okay. We cannot complain, right? And other things here and there. Yeah, as mentioned, right now the things kind of slow down a little bit. People go for the vacation. They, get some rest from the price trades, and I think that's one of the right things to do. Sometimes you have to kind of take a step back in order to see the picture. Yeah, but and then keep going, keep moving.
Great. So, Mike, it was really pleasure to have you with us about your thoughts and vision that you have shown us, and it's really good to see your platform, Market Making Pro, and we all wish you a very success and hope one day we will do our IDO on your platform.
Yes, we're more than welcome. Yeah, thank you so much
Thank,
for having me, and I'm glad to see you. I'm happy to see you smile. And yeah, enjoy the summer, spend some time with family, keep studying, keep learning, because now's the time. Now's the time.
thank you, thank you, Mike.